act like they ain't even worried about it now. But when the end come, when that trouble comes, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, yeah, when it's time to die. Before that, all you see is happening, and death has showed up, and that spirit is leaving that body. Yeah, that day, everybody understands in that day. That sentence of death to be imposed on you, that means that you have not taken heed to everything that he has given you for you to prevent you from dying and going to hell. So, in order for the sentence of death to be imposed, you pretty much have to choose death. And then your choice is accepted by God, and he sentences you to die.
Welcome to San Miguel TV. I am San Miguel. I hope that everybody's doing well out there and that everybody's in good health during this time where we're having to deal with this virus that's spreading by human contact and human interaction. You know, we have to practice the social distancing. Hope that everybody's taking it serious. It just came out from the mother of Tazadaqyah's children that Tazadaqyah has passed away. He came into the hospital due to some type of complications, according to a pretty reliable source. But, you know, we're still gonna wait till we get all the facts before we make any conclusive, you know, decisions. But we could speculate, and I know that Tazadaqyah had type 2 diabetes, according to his wife. He didn't look very healthy. This virus is something that attacks people greatly if your immune system is already compromised by any existing conditions. So I have an uncle that had type 2 diabetes. He came in contact with the coronavirus and passed away a few weeks later. Tazadaqyah is type 2 diabetic, according to his wife. We haven't seen any medical records, of course, but I'm willing to believe that. It's not like she's saying she has a pet dragon. She's saying something that kind of makes sense. It's conclusive with reality. It makes sense. But of course, reality is different for everybody. So people come to incorrect conclusions about the coronavirus itself. But I want people to realize that this is something you have to take serious, especially if you have pre-existing conditions. Don't let people tell you that they know something and don't believe the reliable sources, because the reliable sources are going to be the virologists. When we're talking about viruses, if we're talking about architecture, we got to go to architects. If we're talking about plumbing, we got to go to plumber. Why would you go to somebody that has no expertise in dealing with viruses? You hear all types of claims of conspiracies where this virus is radiation, which makes no sense. It can't be virus and radiation. The way radiation works, your hair would fall off, and children should be dying left and right from the virus then, like how the elderly are dying, or people that already are compromised. Autoimmune system is compromised. You have to be careful. You can't just be out here because of symptoms. You don't know that you have the symptoms. That's not how radiation works. You want to focus more on one bit of information, which is called the confirmation bias. You already have a worldview. You don't need evidence. You already got everything figured out because you think God gave you this information, which is another claim that you can't prove. I mean, you just assuming one thing, and then you have all types of beliefs that you don't, first of all, what you originally assumed, you have no evidence for in the first place. And now you make all types of assumptions that you connect with all of it. And your whole worldview is jaded. And you can bet that some of the conspiracies that are going to come out within the ICGJC is that the government killed him. But wait, hold on. But wasn't the government coming up against him to destroy him in the court system? And they actually won, and he was getting ready to surrender? Now they went through all that just to kill him? Yeah, that makes sense. But, you know, if you want to say, yeah, they're purposely trying to throw people off, that's what they'll say in the ICGJC, because they have to keep the worldview going. It's difficult to have to go through and change, go back and analyze your own beliefs. People always look for evidence that confirms their belief. Why don't you try to disprove and falsify your belief for a change. Just for change. Because you could always find shit that confirms your belief. You found somebody that agrees with what you believe. That's no different from somebody coming and saying, yeah, the coronavirus is man-made. This is a claim that you have no proof for. You didn't go look for any virologist. Actually looking into the structure of the virus, and you can see the proteins, and you can see how natural evolving viruses work, and compare that to what you have now. I mean, this is very simple. And then if you believe in the 5G radiation conspiracy, these are two different conspiracies. You're just mixing them all up to seeing what damn lands or what sticks to the wall. You're just throwing everything out there just so you can say that you had prior knowledge, just in case something comes out. Man, come on, man. People trying to be damn cult leaders out here or some shit. Why are you trying to tell people that you know something that the experts are not saying? You putting people's lives in danger. You playing. I mean, when your kids are sick, what do? You give them elderberry? What do? You take them to the doctor. I don't understand. This is very basic. And you're going to have conspiracies coming out left and right about Tazadaqyah from within the ICGJC. And then you're going to have stuff outside of the ICGJC, you know? But when you have a worldview that connects evil government with anything that's evil, because you have a big event with this coronavirus. This is the big event. So you think it has to have big effects or big causes. What caused the event? That's not always the case. You can have a big event that evolved from a small event, from one person getting it, transmitting from one animal that they eat. If you go into what the virologists say, you can see that none of them are saying that this was man-made. They could tell. Their word should hold some credence. I mean, these are the people that study these things. You have experts in their fields. So it hasn't been determined, hasn't been proven. There's no reports right now. I don't know if you're going to be able to find anything on Tazadaqyah maybe for another day. I don't know. But this is coming out today. I've seen videos of, you know, instant karma where you got something like a bully doing something, bullying somebody, you know, maybe pushes a kid and then he ends up falling, and it's like, you got what you deserved, you know. Even though I don't think that there's a power that controls that, it's just something about the energy that you put out there. Like Tazadaqyah seems like he had no real morals. Like, he was just doing whatever he wanted, taking money, being with different women. You know, there's claims of him having STDs. I mean, you know, this is a man that apparently seems like he doesn't take care of his health, doesn't care about himself. And I look at it like that, like what you do and what you put into this world comes back at you somehow. And if you like living your life loosely and just not caring about life, maybe possibly doing drugs, drinking too much, being with multiple women, you running the risks of getting STDs, catching all types of liver, you know, you got all types of damn diabetics out here. You got people, and then one problem leads to another problem. And now you're broke. You can't get health insurance. You know, Tazadaqyah was a man that he was using the money for whatever he wanted. You know, Jermaine Grant, birth name. I know that he was born, I believe it was May 29th, 1975. So he was a pretty young person. But the fact that he had diabetes type 2 lets you know that this is something that this cat probably can't beat. I speculated with my wife, and I told her, I said, you know, maybe he got the coronavirus. And with him having that health condition already, that's something that's could possibly kill him. Imagine he dies. I speculated this 2 or 3 days ago on April Fool's. And I said, you know, because he should be in by now. It's been 60 days. They've already extended things for years. It's time that this man starts paying back and getting justice. and then come to find out that this guy dies from the coronavirus. You know, it's for some people are going to speculate that this was God's work. And that's another speculation. That's a claim that you can't even prove, because you can't even prove that God exists in the first place. So how are you going to prove that he does anything? Like, it's a losing battle sometimes, arguing with a person that already wants to believe something that they don't even need proof. You have a worldview already, and this is like a cult follower. It's either because you're so trained to think like this, or you're trying to trick other people. It's one or the other. Because why would you be out there telling people not to? You got to worry about the virus. It's killing people left and right. Like, you know, like, that shit don't discriminate. You know, but we know it's not radiation, because radiation causes hair loss. Radiation is horrible for children. The virus doesn't seem to be even affecting that many kids. There are stories of kids dying. You can pull all that up. I know. But it normally affects people that have a autoimmune system that's already compromised, or the elderly. That's not how radiation works. So you can't answer those questions. You haven't even looked into the things that you're claiming to know. You don't understand the total ramifications of the beliefs that you choose. The conclusions that you come to, it kind of like leads you to have to come to other conclusions, because it's all connected. You got beliefs that are connected to other beliefs, and you never verified the first belief. Now everything's based on an assumption. This is called a confirmation bias. I've been talking about this for years. No matter what evidence comes out, you still keep your belief and you change it, just like a cult member does. They tweak their belief a little bit. Oh, damn, Tazadaqyah said he's the comforter and he shall be with us forever. Doesn't the scripture say that he shall abide with us forever? And you can see those scriptures. Now, Tazadaqyah is dead, so now you have a conflict. So how are you going to resolve this conflict? Well, he's still with us forever, because he's with us in the spirit. And this is called spiritualization, which I already brought up. I already did a video on this, because Tazadaqyah did that when talking about the brother Haradapyah. He spiritualized the breakdown in order to make it fit when it was disconfirmed that Haradapyah died. And now Tazadaqyah is dead. The how shall he abide with us forever if he's the comforter?